Core goes first.
All right, and you heard it. The first challenge is a basic bread and butter combo.
The bread and butter challenge, yeah. So this is some interesting stuff on the Team Tekken and Team Street Fighter side all day today. You guys have noticed that they've been practicing combos, doing trials, and that was in anticipation of this challenge. And this was a good example of them opening up the system of Street Fighter Cross Tekken. We're going to see what they have as a result.
And this knowledge is very important because even if you end up not sticking with these characters later on on the show, you can learn a lot about the system, how the juggle points work, and how to optimize your damage, especially with meter. So all these things can be applied to the true characters you want to choose later on.
It's very important. So let's see what they've come up with after hours and hours of practice and dissecting through the multiple system mechanics of Street Fighter Cross Tekken to get the most damage out of their bread and butter combos. And we have Core first, picking Hugo and Balrog. Let's see what we got. He's got 3 opportunities.
And again, each opportunity counts, so he could choose to go for an easier combo first and then go for a harder one later, or you could choose to go for a hard one 3 times in a row. It's totally up to him.
Puts the character into the corner, and positioning is allowed.
Yes, the challenge does not begin until you actually strike the opponent, whether it's an attack of any sort. So
good to know. There's some deliberation between Team Tekken right now. And it looks like we're setting up. Uh-oh. I think Team Tekken might be scheming something.
Uh-oh.
This is very interesting.
Now, Aris,
let's go.
I think I understand.
Aris
what might be happening.
has been looking to find ways to bend the rules as much as possible in this event.
If anything, Valle has been noticed as an excellent coach, an excellent teacher throughout this show, but so far Aris has been the schemer in ways and finding his way around things. And I think I might understand what's happening, but we're going to see what happens. What is interesting is that, well, let's let this ride out. Let's let it rock right now, and see what Team Tekken.
Again, the producer Matt Dahlgren does have the final say at the end of the day. So if he feels that he needs to step in, I'm sure he will.
Yeah, but this is within the system of the game.
Just hold it. Just hold it until they start getting upset. And let it go. But
and we can hear the deliberation of Team Tekken in the background.
No, the stream knows what we're doing. Everyone that plays this game knows exactly what we're doing.
The most obvious.
But interestingly enough, and I'll talk to you about this, Spooky, and I'll talk to all the stream monsters out there.
Is there a time limit of which it maxes out?
Max it out.
I don't. Alex Valle, Valle's team chose to go chose them to go first.
Yes.
So in this challenge, where they're specifically using Balrog, they're doing something
let it rip and then see the damage.
We're pretty sure we know what they're doing.
An opportunity to beat it, or we can just call it a draw.
And then Team Street Fighter has to match that. You know, they have to duplicate it. So by doing this, Team Street Fighter, this is going to be a very difficult combo, quote unquote. Team Street Fighter might just be able to do the same thing.
I see. So the point here is that he may want to not show what they have yet, although that does waste a try.
Exactly.
Which could be a risk.
Who knows?
It's got to be a max damage.
I don't know.
We'll see what happens.
Just release it.
Uh-oh.
All right, 500 damage.
Wow.
Now that it did 500
All right.
right in the middle.
Very stylish combo there.
Interesting. It's okay. So we all know what happened. Hans is laughing like crazy. So if we understand, it technically acts as their try, and they're taking 500 damage.
That's pretty good, I gotta say.
Pretty good. 500 damage is pretty good.
I have seen higher.
I have seen
higher.
Much higher. Will he be able to do it using no cross gauge? This is the bread and butter one, so it's the highest damage with no cross gauge. And I don't think Balrog can charge any more because it went right at 500. I think that it maxed out and you couldn't get
I'm pretty
any
sure I
further.
heard him say final during the move, so I'm pretty sure that was the final turnaround punch.
So can Street Fighter
match that? I'm not sure. I got to be honest. I saw a little bit of what those guys were training up, but it did not appear to me that anybody had like something complete. Yeah, that was like ready to go. I mean, I could be wrong, of course. I'm sure that these guys have a game plan. They had a lot of time to train up.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
And I believe, did they have to pick their characters beforehand? Did they have to select characters beforehand?
Yes.
Okay. So, Team Tekken might have found a way around one of the first combo challenges. We'll see what Team Street Fighter is bringing
see how
here.
It goes. Again, it does follow the rules. Highest damage
Is
no cross
within
gauge.
guidelines. Sub-Zero showing off poison.
All right, uses his Pandora.
Interesting.
He didn't use cross gauge.
Very interesting. He used no cross gauge.
Wow.
And
531.
I believe he did it. That will go.
Not max damage, 531. You maxed out at 500. It doesn't matter. It matters max damage. All right, Team Street Fighter is up 1.
Wow.
That was crazy.
It
Both
looks
these
like
guys came up with a
Team
good
Tekken's strategy to get the most damage out of using no cross gauge was different. And then all of a sudden, with the use of a gem, the gem was probably very important for that one.
Is maximum damage.
Interesting.
So players will be allowed to use infinite cross gauge and pull off the highest damage combo possible.
I'm a little disappointed because
Team
neither
Tekken
of those
went
are bread and
first
butters.
the first one, Team Street Fighter, you get to go first on this one.
You know what to do.
Who have you chosen?
This is very interesting. Team Tekken and Team Street Fighter are out for blood right now, finding ways around the challenges to get the most.
I mean, that's the point.
While that isn't the method of a bread and butter combo, and as the name is so aptly titled, they found a way to do the most damage possible without using cross gauge.
That is the point. And again, that's how a fighting game player thinks. You know what I mean? It's always about breaking the rules and breaking the system.
Team Tekken had a very good strategy with technically what is considered a combo and what is considered damage, and they had a pretty good one. I didn't know if they were going to get it, if they were going to be able to beat it, but I think they failed to realize that you do not use cross gauge when you use the charge. I believe it's called the special charge. You charge it up completely, and your character will do a meterless super. Wow, I'm just so blown away by what happened in the first
really
one.
good.
What is going to happen with the next one? What's going to happen with the maximum damage one? I think, is that what we're on right now, or are we?
Yes, we're on maximum damage.
Okay.
So again, I know this has been explained already, but this is the highest damage using infinite cross gauge and /or Pandora mode.
Yeah, not infinite Pandora mode, mind you. I'm pretty sure that has been confirmed. Going with Toro. So Toro is the Ryu cat.
That has to stay on default. Cross gauge and infinite, so you're good to go.
We're checking some of the settings just to be sure everything's clear. And he gets infinite cross gauge. So
and
this is a method of training mode only. He gets 3 shots. Immediately goes into Pandora.
Oh.
That is the first drop, so he has to restart.
609.
And that is 609 damage.
That's still pretty good for a drop, and obviously he had
609
one raw
damage.
combo. And again, he does get multiple attempts.
Yep.
So.
This is very interesting because that is the second drop.
439.
Last try for Rennig.
It's interesting how much damage Hugo is doing. I've never seen Hugo do that much damage, especially in Pandora, but he is using the gem. Gives you a Pandora mode damage increase. So this is how they're learning the system of how to do damage in Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
521.
And he got 521, so I think the
Final
first
score
one.
is 609.
609 damage. Ooh, Team Tekken is doing having some conversations right now.
All right, Bronson up for Team Tekken.
And what we saw during that challenge was a good use of Pandora mode and the Pandora mode gem, which gives you a fairly decent amount. I think it might be close to 30%, if not 30% damage increase in Pandora mode. It wasn't a use of cross gauge at all, am I right? I don't think he used cross gauge at all in that combo.
I'm sure that there was more to it, though.
There was definitely more to it. He was trying to hit the first part. The Link is very sensitive with the crouching medium punch after the Hugo's hand slap. So there was much more to it. But there's a lot to Street Fighter Cross Tekken if you do infinite cross gauge. Some stuff that we were talking about this one a little bit earlier, having a lot of discussions about it, and we'll see what happens here. So it looks like Bronson is up, and he's using Ken and Rufus.
609.
Pushing him completely into the corner. Let's see what happens.
Again, he gets 3 attempts at this.
Yep. I think that might have done it on just the first attempt.
Got it.
697 damage.
That was our like third continuous plan.
Team Tekken takes it on the first attempt. Wow. So Team Street Fighter has taken the first one, bread and butter, and now Team Tekken took the maximum damage.
Next up is I'd hit that. You'll have to get the maximum number of hits using a max start cross gauge. So Team Tekken, you're up first. I'd hit it.
What's interesting, and I'll give a little bit of the behind-the-scenes knowledge of what happened with the maximum damage. We were very curious of what the players were going to be capable of in executing combos with infinite cross gauge. There's a lot of potential in Street Fighter Cross Tekken, but that potential that we were considering is only in training mode, and we surprisingly didn't see it. But there is some stuff where you can easily max out the combo counter and max everything out with a little bit of execution. But maximum damage is over, and now we're moving on to I'd Hit It, which is the most hits in a combo. And Super Yen is taking the helm with Ibuki and Rufus. Ibuki looks happy, Rufus looks goofy.
You want to check your settings?
All right, she's going to start Rufus. And again, 3 attempts each time. This is attempt 1.
This is for most hits in a combo.
36.
A 36 hit combo. And Team Tekken passes the torch of an arcade stick. The torch stick? Passes the torch to Team Street Fighter. And Nerd Josh is at the helm now. 36 hits is what you need to beat.
I'm pretty sure I've seen Nerd Josh do more than that.
You've been
just
manning
in matches.
the Team Street Fighter stream. So let's see what they have to offer. Seeing a lot of Ken and Rufus. And in this one, they have to use a full super meter, so they get all 3 bars. Full cross gauge, I'm sorry. And there is some good stuff that Ken can do with this Hurricane Kick and linking in combos, but it takes a little bit of execution, and with only 3 attempts, they must have been practicing this for quite a long time. I'm nervous. Every time I see one of these, I'm
very
nervous.
Also. And very surprised because, again, honestly, the players have surprised me also because I saw those guys training and they were all chatting up and everyone
a lot of dissection. This really comes to the understanding of what the system Street Fighter Cross Tekken has to offer and how you take it, how do you use it to your advantage. There's Josh going right in.
Dropped it.
Right. That is the first attempt, so he has to reset.
Yeah, you can turn it up.
He's requesting the sound to get.
You guys have any of those headsets that you're advertising?
We can do that, but it'll take
Nerd Josh is requesting the sound to be put up a little bit higher on his end.
You guys can advertise some headsets for Mark, man.
That's
that is
2.
the second attempt.
8.
Only 8 hits.
Last attempt.
Comes Rufus.
No.
Unfortunately, that was
11.
11 hits, and not nearly enough. I am
Team Tekken takes round 3. All right.
Of course we got you doing
I am fairly surprised that Team Street
Challenge
Fighter
number
didn't
4
go.
is Swag. This one is going to be judged by a panel of 3 judges. Judges, can I have you come up to the
Oh,
back?
man. This is.
Yeah, it's over.
All right. So next up, we're gonna have
The
the
swag
judges.
combo, the most stylish, which would be
Judge number 1, Seth Killian, the man who.
All
right. Judge number 1, Seth Killian, the man who pretty much built the fighting game scene with his blood, sweat, and tears.
Yay, Seth.
Judge number 2,
It's,
Brian Oliveira. He's the guru in licensing that is in charge of creating our strategy guides, most recently the Street Fighter Cross Tekken Strategy Guide by Brady Games.
very cool.
Then we have Dan P. He's part of our global marketing relations team, and he helps us with overall strategy and communicating with Japan, and Team Street Fighter's fearless leader, Yoshinoro Ono-san. All right? Yeah, everyone knows their stuff. Okay? And then, so Team Street Fighter's up first. All right, TFA Hornet.
Good stuff to Matt for choosing the judges. He definitely chose some good ones.
It's very cool. So, the swag combo is the most stylish and will be judged by these 3 judges. I'm just still in shock and awe at the previous things we've seen so far.
Definitely. These guys are bending the rules as much as possible, which I really
like. A little
like.
bit. The first one was definitely taking advantage of that. However, the stuff that we saw in maximum damage, completely legit. Not what I was thinking of by any means. And I'd hit it, not exactly what I was thinking of either. There are
Well,
other
Nerd Josh definitely choked it up, and
Yeah.
he's got to be careful because if he did the worst, then he's gonna.
I am absolutely shocked that they would not go with a character like Rolento and his baton, which is several hits and has 3 reps and does about 15 to 20 hits.
Pad players are not cool. Okay?
That was very surprising.
Come on.
We have been seeing a lot of Street Fighter, but it looks like CFA Hornet is giving us a taste of Tekken. And this is all about swag. And the interesting thing about this is that if the combo looks cool, is interesting, has a lot of elements and parts and use of meter, things like that, the judges are going to like it. And if it looks good, it should include characters that a lot of people haven't seen before.
What I would be thinking if I was going for this is I'd be trying to use as much of the system as I could. So I would try to use a wall slam, I would try
Pandora,
to use links,
all that
systems,
stuff, man.
Pandora, activate gems during the combo
Yeah,
if I could,
dude.
anything that I could do.
I'm really anxious to see what they've come up with after several hours. And I'm even more anxious to see Law and Huarong. I'm not too good at the pronunciation of his name, but see these guys in action. Setting up some of the options ahead of time. Has his meter at the max start, which is allowed.
And again, Hornet is a pad player, so he has to go into the button config each time.
Here we go. He's into a cross rush, a wall bounce. To a... That was actually pretty cool.
He goes
like
3 times in a row.
He gets 3 shots. Let's see what else he's got if he has something else. Ooh, I see what he's going for. He's definitely going for a ground bounce combo afterwards with Law, and that will look pretty cool if he's able to pull it off.
This is his last attempt here. We'll see what he's got for us.
I like that double hit with Huarong on the jump in.
Oh,
And drops it. So now,
All right,
let's
Team
see what Team Tekken has brought in. Tasty Steve looks very confident right here.
So
He's jabbing the air. Tasty Steve was also performing some pretty amazing stuff on the very first day.
Yes,
using
with Heihachi
and King.
I have a feeling that we're going to see Heihachi again.
Yeah. Heihachi sets up some pretty cool looking stuff with juggling the character multiple times. I'm so anxious during all of these.
Could be wrong.
Just checking buttons right
Yeah.
now.
So from what you saw over on Team Street Fighter side, has a lot of what they were practicing today been translated over into the play so far live?
It looks like it. Again, I did see these characters being used, and I did see some of what was getting trained up, and they did ask me to clarify some of the things for the system.
Yeah.
Example, during maximum damage, they wanted to clarify whether or not they for Bread and Butter, they wanted to clarify whether or not they could use the charge super.
Yeah.
So.
Very good call. There was a lot of questions and concerns regarding the usage of the system today, and we were more than happy to clear things up.
As best as we could.
When when it came to the bread and butter, they were definitely doing that, using the system to their advantage. Team Tekken thought they had it, using the turn punch with Balrog. I think that's what it's called, right?
Yep,
It's the
turnaround punch.
Turnaround punch, and it only went to 500 damage. But Team Street Fighter had another 600 damage combo. But here we go. Most stylish combo from Tasty Steve. What have you got?
He's just checking his buttons again to
Yeah.
make sure everything's okay. Got to be careful. If he makes contact, that counts.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I think
think-
it's okay since he's talking to Matt.
Okay, here we go.
First
Show us
attempt.
what you got, Tasty Steve. Positioning the character in the corner, always a good idea. Ooh, interesting. Very
He's
interesting.
looking for the right spacing.
Into the cross run. Into a switch tag.
Oh, drop.
First drop.
All right, attempt number 2.
Ooh.
Oh, missed the end.
I believe that last part was just about it. I think he was missing that one special move.
Our drop combo is better than yours. It's all good. It's all good.
He's going right into it.
Oh.
No.
That's it.
That was 3 attempts, so he almost completed it. But it was still a very pretty
That
combo.
second combo was still very, very good.
Yeah.
But Hornet did manage to complete his first combo.
Make your votes.
There were a lot of great ideas in there. I liked a lot of the ideas in both. You got some wall bounces, you got some ground bounces, a lot of creativity, a lot of keeping them in the air. But I gotta say, Team Street Fighter completed it and put the swagger dagger in the heart of Team Tekken.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah, I'm
Brian.
gonna have to go with Street Fighter as well.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, same as me.
Oh,
They didn't complete the combo, which is
Tasty Steve did a
part of the
good
combo
job.
challenge.
If only I hit that ender.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great idea.
Team Street Fighter takes it and ties it up. It is now 2-2.
Oh, man.
Our last category is consistency. What we're going to do is we're going to pull an assigned combo randomly, and then the players are going to trade off, hitting them. If the first player to drop the combo when their opponent hits the combo will lose the challenge. So the first combo will be...
All day. All day.
All right. Marduk,
Ooh.
trial number 16.
Very interesting.
Now, this trial actually, when it was chosen primarily because it's difficult to kind of figure out how to hit it at first.
Right.
But once you do know the trick to it, it's a
all
fairly
about muscle
easy
memory.
combo. Mhm.
And just to speak what happened on the last, the swag combo, I think a big factor in who was chosen was the fact that the Street Fighter combo was completely completed. And while Tasty Steve's combo was awesome and very long and extended and was very cool looking, it was never
He
actually
just missed
completed
the very,
fully.
very end. If he had
Very
gotten
end.
that, I think he would have had a chance for sure.
Ooh, drops on his first one.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow.
At 200 yen, the Execution Master drops what I consider probably the easiest combo of this entire set.
This is getting intense. Sherry is up now.
Yes!
Hit it!
Yes! Let's go!
Team Street Fighter is up, and they are excited.
That's how we do it. Done so. Finisher combos.